the locker room, and we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Philadelphia Eagles. A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. On first down, Dwyer. He'll get this complete to Jalen Reagor. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
On first and 10, Dwyer. It's caught by Sanders. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll make it a second down.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
Uses the stiff arm.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy set the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is first and 10 at the 43. They'll run with Sanders, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
Off the play fake, Dwyer. And the Niners get there and bring him down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Off of play action, here's Lance. And that is incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Here's 2nd and 10. And they'll run. This is Trey Sermon. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Now, this defense for the Eagles, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
Even better than that, they pitched a shutout in that game, and I'm telling you, trust me on this one. That's a confidence builder for the rest of the season. When you get a defense that puts together a performance like that this early in the year, well, that sends notice to the rest of the NFL and spreads confidence throughout the locker room that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
Sermon now on 1st and 10. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Lance. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Lance to throw it. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And he is going to have a 49ers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
You like
yeah,
that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
2nd and 10. Lance, a give now to Sermon. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. On play action, Lance, he'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Deebo Samuel, his first touchdown on the year. And the Niners have taken the early lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Looking to throw. Dwyer airing it out deep for Smith. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. To throw. Dwyer going for Burton, and he's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Eagles nothing. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And he is going to lose yardage here. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Sanders has it over the middle. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And they're going to have a 3rd down. To throw again. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Ambry Thomas. 20, 5, and into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
Coaches preach all the time about opportunities and taking advantage of them, and he did exactly that. I used to have a coach told us all the time, a lost opportunity is never regained. Well, no regrets here. He picked that one off and took it to the house.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now 14-0. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Looking to throw. Dwyer. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. When you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. On the counter now, it's Sanders. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They are riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Lance, a handoff here to Mostert. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. Now Lance on the bootleg. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, on is Colby Wadman now to punt. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Dwyer. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Dwyer. They're trying for Rager, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
On 2nd down, it's Sermon. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. And they'll try and run for the first with Sermon. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. Two minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. The 49ers are going to turn over to the special teams crew. The field goal unit is out there now. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after. That forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, Dwyer. And he'll go back to Smith. This time it's complete. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Dwyer. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. picked up by Diamador Lenore. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up first and goal at the 5. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit. And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Again, Sermon. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. Sermon. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Trey Sermon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Niners are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive. And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, man, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week. Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player? It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Back to throw. Dwyer. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
On second down, it's Sanders. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be, 38 yards out. The kick by Elliott is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They run. Here's Sermon. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On the counter, Sermon. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 48 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Lance. They'll find Ayuk open right side. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
A lane there to run is Mostert able to get about 7 there on 1st down.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Let's go, defense.
Now a handoff. Sermon. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And this is Sermon. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. And, it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And the Eagles are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. But pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
Throwing on 1st down. Dwyer. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
On 1st down, Dwyer. And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. Off play action. Dwyer, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within the shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
And some room to work. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 85 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Sanders. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
To throw on 2nd down, Dwyer. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Looking to throw. Dwyer. Flushed out right. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So we'll get the penalty all sorted out when we get back. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a change of possession here on the punt, and the offense will come back out deep in their own territory.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
The drive starts with a carry by Sermon. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on 1st down. That's what they talk about, does all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
On the handoff, Sermon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Running left is Sermon. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. It's caught inside the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big connection on that one. 34 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. On 2nd down, another shot for Sermon. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On 3rd down, here's Sermon. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
And his kick is indeed good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll go again with Sanders. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite an excellent display of footwork. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Robinson. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's got enough for the 1st across midfield to the 48. 103 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
1st down, Philadelphia.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now with Robinson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
He was tackled at the 46-yard line. 2 yards.
So the victory here for San Francisco. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.